talk about Hanuman temple, if it's okay for you.
Yes,
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 sir.
Okay, Sona.
Okay, perfect. So, excuse me. So, I'll just give you a little background story. So, last year in March is when we started our activities in this village officially. So, for those who don't know, the organization here is called Pranav Kshetra. We just started it just because it's easy to do activity under a name rather than just doing it, and it's easy to talk with people also. That's why we started this called Pranav Kshetra. Pranava means Om, Auma combination, right? Aum is the Pranava, and Kshetra means space. So we're trying to create that primal, beautiful energetic space. That's why we called it Pranav Kshetra. And Sadhguru somehow gave this name to us because I did not have any idea. So when we started, we want to create spaces here, like for example, Devi Temple and Yogashala, Adiyogi Alayam, Bhiksha Hall, Akshaya, all the things that we would normally see in the ashram, which are all energetic spaces. We want to create similar spaces here to start the project because we want to affect at least 20 villages with what we are doing here. And I spent March till say August, we've been continuously looking for people to help build these spaces. Like, we're looking for masons and all of that. We call them mestris in India. Not a single movement was happening, no matter how much I tried. So at one point, I was like, why is this not happening? What is the lack in energy here that things are not happening at all, no matter how much I try? Activities in the village level are happening. For example, we're teaching yoga to children, and all of that is happening, right? But the creating spaces part is just not happening. And one day I just sat in meditation, and somehow Hanuman just appeared. And then that day I thought, I was just like intrigued and figuring out why did Hanuman appear and what is this whole thing about. And I thought, okay, we should bring Hanuman because if he appeared in the meditation, it means something. Literally 2 days later, there's a Swami who does this consecrations. He doesn't do prana pratishtas. He does mantra pratishta. That means he consecrates murtis with mantras. Okay, so it's a different type of consecration. It's much simpler consecration, but you have to maintain them. That's the only difference. So he called me himself and he said, Nishant, you should do Hanuman Pratishtha in your region. And I was in shock because 2 days ago I was just thinking, for past 2 days I've been thinking, why Hanuman and all of that. And this Swami calls me and says the same thing. So that is just like an indication, assertion to me that, yeah, this is the way to go. The moment Swami called next day, you won't believe, everybody came by themselves. I did not even call them. By themselves, everybody came. And all of a sudden, now we are building some toilets in that area. Now the Devi temple work has started. Hanuman temple work foundation has begun. And the foundation for the stay area, everything started at once. And I thought this is such a miracle. I thought of Hanuman and all these things are happening. The mobilization happened, right? The mobility happened all of a sudden. And then I was like, okay, fine. So, and I asked Swami, like, why did you think of Hanuman? What is the reason? So he was explaining me because my connection with Hanuman was because as a child, I was only connected to him. I was not connected to anybody else. I'd have my own separate space where I'd have Hanuman photo and I would just sit in front of him, just praise, just looking at him in awe, right? Because he's so cool as a character. You
yeah.
have to be like, wow. As a child, you get attracted to him naturally. So I did not believe in any of the Indian traditions or cultures or Hinduism, whatever. None of that attracted me. And I was an atheist growing up. But this Hanuman was like so attractive. I could not get him out of my life. So I just thought of that. That's my only connection with him. So the Swami said, when you have lot of negative prana in a region, or lot of in our region, what happened was lot of tantra happened. We call it left hand tantra. Left hand tantra is the kind of tantra we use to destroy people, basically. It's used for destruction purposes. Okay. So this region is known for that. So lot of negativity is in this region. And that Swami said only Hanuman can bring you out because he was explaining the difference between Devi's energy and Hanuman's energy. Devi's energy is just energy. She'll just give it to you. It doesn't matter you want to use it for good intention, bad intention, whatever it is, she'll just give it to you because she's just pouring as long as you show devotion. That's why all the tantrics, they use the Devi's energies only for good stuff and bad stuff. He said Hanuman energy is like it has certain, we should not call it morality. There's a certain, how do you say, Hmm,
Direction.
certain direction. It flows only in one way. And that direction is positive prana, actually. Because he is called Vayuputra, that means he has control of all the five pranas, basically. So for Hanuman is very clear. This is the only way I'll flow. If you flow in any other way, I will not accept. His energy is like that. So that's when I understood the significance of him coming here and why he needs to come and all of that. And we raised some funds last year from Vaishakana's podcast, and we had to divert some of the funds to build Hanuman temple. Now we have to raise funds for Hanuman temple separately. But yeah, he's coming up. It's a very small space. And then I was thinking about how big of a space and all of that because we don't have a lot of space. And the Swami said use 9 feet. I said okay, cool. Why is 9? He said 9 is a number of Hanuman. Okay. So again, if you're familiar with numerology and all of that, 9 denotes the energy aspect, right? Masculine energy aspect. So yeah, Hanuman is that in some way. So if you don't listen, he will make you listen by force. That's what he is, basically. And I've heard stories in the villages also. People who consume meat and go to his temple, they'll face a lot of issues in their life. So everybody knows. I'm not talking like people who are of a certain faith. People from every faith in the village, they've experienced it at some point in their lives that if you eat meat and go, he will not accept. So he has certain things, certain principles very clear. So that's when I was like, okay, we should have him, and his temple is coming up. So I've been preparing you guys that I'll be going into silence from next week, from 25th, which happens to be Monday. So we have one more session before I go into silence. So I'm going into silence for 1 month to prepare for the Pratishtha. Pratishtha means consecration. So I am part of the consecration. So I have to prepare, I have to do some certain sadhana to prepare myself in such a way that I'm available to his energies. And I can also be part of that process, basically. And people who are in India who went through Naga Pratishtha, they must have done some sadhana also, or any of the other pratishthas the Sadhguru is doing. You're asked to do certain sadhana before you go sit there. It's the same thing. You're carrying that vibration to the Pratishtha. So the Pratishtha will happen much more effectively. So during that 1 month, I have a strict guideline on, so people who've been through the silence program knows about it, that you cannot see anybody, you cannot talk to anybody, you cannot listen to anything. You can only see 3 feet ahead of you. That means only to walk. That's it. So there's certain guidelines for practice silence. I have to follow all of that. So I'll not have my phone, I'll not have my laptop, nothing. During which times Pramodana will conduct couple of classes, sessions, where his expertise, kitchen stuff, he'll talk about all of that beautiful things. But yeah, so Hanuman Pratishtha is happening on May 4th. So May 4th happens to be Hanuman Jayanti. Hanuman Jayanti means it's his birthday according to lunar calendar. Okay.
Okay.
So we are doing, I don't know how everything is just falling in place. We are doing the Pratishtha on his birthday only. We will send the invites out to everybody who is able to come. We would like all of you to be a part of this Pratishtha. And if you want to be part of this Pratishtha as a sadhaka, just like we are going through certain sadhana, you please let me know. There's a one mandala of sadhana that you can do, and you can be part of this a little more effectively. Right? That is also possible. Anyway, whatever I'm sharing with you, I'll be sharing this with everybody outside these groups also. But you're the first ones to know. Okay. So
Yes, I'd like to be part of that. Just let us know what the sadhana is.
yes, Anna.
Maybe
I'll
we'll.
on Monday we are going to announce. Oh, so if any of you are interested in taking up that sadhana, please message me privately on WhatsApp. Because on
Mhm.
Monday we are going to announce only to those individuals who are interested in it to be part of that. Okay.
Anna, do we have to be there?
Yeah,
Oh,
Daniel, Anna. Yes.
sorry. I just wanted to know, do we have to be there locally, or can we do it from afar, the sadhana?
You can do the sadhana from far, and on the culmination day, there's a certain process you have to do, which is on the May 4th. So
Okay,
wherever you're sitting, because if you're not able to come here, you can sit there and be part of this. Okay, that is one
okay,
way. If you're locally available, please try to come. That is the best way.
Okay. A-
Because
And
if you
you're gonna
start the
like,
sadhana on the 25th, May 4th is the culmination. That's the 40th day. That will be the culmination day.
and is it gonna be live stream
It
or it's
is
just
not live streamed, but I have to see. I can try because I didn't think of it actually. Uh,
okay?
all my efforts have been going into putting up this, bringing this space up. I'm just unable to focus on other things. But now that you mentioned it, we can. I'll ask Pramodan also to see if live streaming is possible. If it is possible, we'll make it possible. I think it's not a problem at all because in YouTube you can do all these things now. So yeah, who are interested to come, you could just message me privately. I'll explain the whole directions on how to come here and all of that. Yeah. Yeah. So after this session today, if you could just message me privately. Yeah. And whoever is interested, they will contact us and we'll make them go through with the process.
Okay, for the sadhana which we
Yes.
for
Yes.
mandala like 40 days, right?
40 days. Yeah. And I mean, you can share this information right away. That is not a problem. If they're
Okay,
interested, they can.
and you said
So
Is it Prana Pratishtha or Mantra Pratishtha? No?
it will be, it will be actually so there within Mantra Pratishtha there are a couple of divergence. One is called Mantra Pratishtha the way we know it. Other one is called Vayu Pratishtha. Vayu Pratishtha is where um okay. So with the Mantra Pratishtha, what normally happens is there will be a yantra under the murti. Okay. And that yantra is the active part. The murti itself doesn't hold a lot of energy. With mantras, it will gain energy over time. But the yantra is actually acting as a source, which we cannot see. It's typically below the murti. Okay, that is mantra pratishtha. In Vayu pratishtha, what happens is, and again, I don't know how it works. The Swami does in such a way that the murti gets the benefit, murti gets the energy. That way, maybe a year later, if you want to transfer the murti to somewhere else, it will carry that energy, independent of the yantra. So these are some Vayu Pratishtha. With Vayu Pratishtha, the other part is you don't have to do a lot of rituals. You just have to light a diya and have some dhoop. That's it. That's all it takes. You don't
Do
have
you
to have a
use
separate
mercury?
naivedya and all of that. Yeah. What is that, Anna?
Do you use mercury?
No, 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 no.
Like
That is Pran Pratishtha only. Mercury and
okay,
all of that is Pran Pratishtha. We don't, yeah, that is Sadhguru's art. Nobody else does it.
you
Or
said about the Devi temple, right? Are you planning to
uh,
place a Devi Mukha or how is it?
that Sadhguru said it, put it this way. Sadhguru said that you create the space. Whether I consecrate her, how she wants to come, she'll come. So we're not thinking about what's going to happen next. We're only
That's
creating the space.
beautiful, Anna.
That's it.
That's very beautiful.
Thank you. So I'll share the information more on Hanuman Pratishtha soon. But it was a very intriguing. I mean, for me, it was crazy to even think about how it all happened. But since that day, it's been so. By the way, Pranic's lifestyle sessions also happened because of that only. After Hanuman came, so
Oh,
yeah, he's a force. He just comes like a force only. He doesn't come like he doesn't come to sit and give you peace and stability. He just like pushes you like that, you know.
okay. I was singing the Chalisa before the Pranic sessions, and I'm this. It's not my culture. I've been learning it from like some followers of he was
Yeah,
a Ninkaroli Baba,
yeah,
who are English speaking.
yeah,
So, is there any guidance into as to singing it? Should I
yeah,
continue singing it? I
yeah.
don't know if yeah, the cat, this information. Yes.
Yeah, so Hanuman Chalisa, see, there is a obviously for every mantras, including Hanuman Chalisa, there's a pronunciation, enunciation, and imagination.
Okay.
So, if, for example, I mean, no, some mantras are only pronunciation. If you have to pronounce it that way and you have to chant it that way, only then the energy will develop. That's one thing. With Hanuman Chalisa, all the three will go together. So, pronunciation, if it's a little off here and there, that is okay. Because Hanuman Chalisa was written for that purpose. It's for common audience, number one. Number two, enunciation is the intention with which you chant. So you have your good, whatever positive intention, that is fine. The third thing is the imagination. you understand the meanings of all the lyrics of Hanuman Chalisa and try to imagine that scenario. You're there. Not, it's not, you should not imagine as if you're sitting in front of a TV or a screen. You have to imagine yourself being in that space, physical space. So that's how Hanuman Chalisa is to be chanted. So once you understand the meaning a little more, translations, so many translations are available. I'll also recommend a couple of videos also. You can go through that and start imagining. Yes.
And it's like Devi's Stuti only.
No,
So
no,
Devi Stuti is that where you only focus on chanting, nothing else. No imagination is needed.
Okay.
With Hanuman Chalisa, the more imagination you have, the closer you can get to him. Again, if you are interested in the Hanuman Pratishtha or Sadhana, if you want to just attend the program itself, right? You just let me know in advance and we'll make preparations for that. Okay. If you're interested in Sadhana, definitely let me know right away. Okay. And if you cannot come, that is fine. You can still do the Sadhana. Okay. Thank you very much. We'll go over the rest of the Dinacharya next class.
Namaskaram, Anna. I just want to share one thing.
Yes,
I
Anna.
heard I heard Roberto Anna talking about learning the Hanuman Chalisa.
Yeah.
So Flow of Grace by Krishna Das. It has an audible book
Okay.
that explains chanting the Hanuman Chalisa, the right pronunciation.
Beautiful. Yeah.
So it's called Flow of Grace by Krishna Das. Just wanted to
Okay.
share that.
Roberto Anna,
Namaskaram.
that's the guidance.
Thank you.
So thank you very much, everybody. Hanuman
Anna,
Chalisa is definitely part of the sadhana.
just want to ask.
Sardakana, yes.
So, like you said, there should be intention while you do chanting. Like, is there something like there is no intention? Because sometimes when I chant, I don't have like any intention. I just do because I think it's needed to be done. It's
That is the
important.
intention.
Okay.
It's needed to be done. That is the intention. That's enough. So generally, as a human being, you won't do anything unless there's some intention or purpose. Because if there's no purpose, you will just be quiet and happy in content. Some action is needed. That's when you want to, anything doesn't matter.